There you
Hello, this is Steve. It's Austin. Today we're going to talk to you about a topic that stumps a lot of people. For whatever reason, picking a niche can tie people up for months, and picking a name for your business seems to be equally as tough for people. And we're just going to talk about that and how it's really not such a big deal after all. Don't fret about it. Don't overthink it and worry about it. Pick something and go on. Austin will start us off and tell us his views on this.
All right, so a name is kind of like your first impression. You want it to signal professionalism, like position in the industry, maybe a little bit of personality. Um, it makes everything downstream easier, like a website, social media referrals, word of mouth. Like having a memorable name just helps. A bad name can cause friction. Like you don't want to name yourself something really stupid, like we're horrible at marketing. Don't do that. But it's not as important. It's not something you should be hung up on because good good marketing beats good marketing agency name. Basically, clients hire on trust, results, and relationships. So even if you have an all right name, you can still do pretty good. Just don't name yourself anything stupid.
That sums it up pretty good. So there's 5 basic ways that we would recommend you pick your name. And the first one is really simple. Use your own name. Nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, I have such a common name, I cannot do that. But you probably can. Yourownname.com, and you're going to be good to go. Uh, Unfortunately, my last name is Smith and my first name's pretty common. I can't do that, but for most of you can. Another excellent one is location based. And if you want to just form your own niche based on location, such as, let's just say, Murfreesboro, Tennessee bookkeeper, that's excellent. Um, that will work great. Put your city in there and what you do, and that's an excellent way that everybody knows what you do right off the bat. Uh, there's no question there. Service-based or outcome-based name is pretty common. Uh, such as found online, map pack agency, visible growth. Those kind of names are all excellent names where people hear it and they know what you do. Really simple. We don't have to overthink this. I do realize that some of these names are already, aren't available. Those ones are already taken, obviously, and you got to research it a little bit to figure out what you want, but that's okay. You can pick an invented or abstract name, and those work for people as well. Um, Even like Yahoo, Google, those kind of names, they're very famous, and I don't know how they thought of those names, but um, especially Google, but people know them, they love them, and they're popular. I would caution you probably not to try that yourself, just because we're not ever going to be that big, and you're not going to be known. So it's a lot easier to pick the location, your own name, or a result-driven name at this point. And what makes a good agency name? Well, something that's easy to remember, easy to spell. And this is the key part that I wanted to make sure that I got across is that as you decide on your name, so let's say it's Murfreesboro, Tennessee bookkeeper, come over to GoDaddy, make sure it's available. I also take the extra mile, and whatever social media platforms you want to do, I would check in there. Make sure you can get those. Go to YouTube if that's what you want to do, see if that's available. Whatever it is that you're going to use your name in, make sure you can get it before you lock it in. Uh, and you'll probably, when you do pick your name, you're probably going to want to go to your city or county um, city hall and register the name. Some of you might want to get an LLC. We'll talk about that on another time. But don't overthink it. Pick a name, go on. Just like pick a niche, go on. You're going to be able to make business off of whatever you pick. But like Austin said, don't pick something that doesn't make sense. Don't try to like shorten a word like marketing and do MKTG or something like that, where people are never going to remember that. And don't try to be cute and put like an 8 in your name. We see people do that. That's just really hard to remember, really hard to for people to um, to type in. They're not going to remember that. Uh, just one other topic that I wanted to make sure that I got in before we finish this is make sure that you know exactly what your business is going to be in your mind before you do this. So in other words, let's say you were going to be okay, let's say bookkeeper Murfreesboro, and then you end up moving. Make sure that the name you pick can last you your lifetime. Because if you move from Murfreesboro, that name is not going to be good anymore. So in that case, you would definitely want to just pick something like Pam's Bookkeeping Service, whatever, that that they can transfer from one place to the other. So think about that before you do it. Like I said, this is really easy, but people get stuck on this. We know people that have been trying to do this for months and months and months and get stuck on niche and name and never moved past that. So and one thing that I would stress too is, let's say you were interested in let's say um, let's go back to Murfreesboro bookkeeper. We've seen people try to shorten these up way too much, where it'll be M Burrow beekeeper, something like that, and that nobody is going to relate to that. It might seem cool to you, but it's not going to be cool to your customers. So make sure you get this right and get this done. And as far as the domain goes, get the .com domain, please. Don't try to get a crazy thing. Get the .com. That's what people know, remember, and that's what's going to keep you professional. Sure, you can add more to it, but get the .com. That's all I'm going to say on that, and we will see you tomorrow with some more hard-hitting Google Business Profile results.